this is Becky. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do a series of videos on how to be holy. So here is video number 1. So today in the Word it says how to be holy. But just as he who called you is holy, so be holy in all that you do. 1 Peter 1:15. When Jesus gave Simon the name Rock, Matthew 16:18, an English equivalent of the Greek word Petros, it didn't seem to match Peter's impetuous character. This was the same man who attempted to walk on water, Matthew 14:30-33, declared mistakenly that he would never deny Jesus, Matthew 26:33-35, and cut off the ear of a servant when soldiers and officials came to arrest Jesus, John 18:10. Peter may have seemed an unlikely candidate to live a holy life, yet later he would become a key leader in the church. So this is a month-long series, so I'm going to go ahead and record them, and then I will release them, so that way each day a new verse comes out. There's the right word. Let's see, I left off. This month we will read 2 letters that Peter wrote near the end of his life, encouraging Jewish believers suffering from persecution and plagued by false teaching. His words challenge us today to be holy, just as he who called us to be holy, 1 Peter 1:15. This was written by Ryan J. Cook. He's the professor of Bible and the dean of faculty for the Moody Theological Seminary. So that's where you're wondering where I got this from. All right, so for day 1, it says, the elect exiles. Read 1 Peter 1:1-2. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to the God's elect. 1 Peter 1:1. Peter is one of the most memorable apostles in the Gospels. He's often the first to speak and act. He jumped out of the boats, Matthew 14:22-33. And he cut off ears, John 18:10-11. He denied the Lord Jesus 3 times, Matthew 26:69-75. In a remarkable act of grace, Jesus forgave Peter and reinstalled him as a church leader, John 21:15-19. This month we will study 2 letters written by Peter. They were not written by the young, impetuous Peter, but by then a mature Christian leader who had given his life to proclaim the resurrection of Jesus. Peter called his audience by 2 different descriptions. First, they were addressed as God's elect. To be elect means to be chosen. Followers of Jesus are recipients of God's grace, and it is God who took initiative to make our salvation possible. Peter's readers were also exiles, scattered all over Asia Minor. An exile is someone displaced from their home country to live elsewhere without legal rights as citizens. Peter's readers, mostly comprising Jewish Christians, lived outside of Israel. So Peter likely used this term with a double meaning. On one hand, they were literally exiles, but they are also exiles in a spiritual sense, awaiting the coming of the Lord Jesus, their true King and Lord. Peter continues by reminding his readers that their identity is most firmly grounded in the triune God. The Father chose them, and the Spirit is sanctifying them for the goal of obedience to Jesus Christ, who cleansed them with his blood. We also need a regular reminder that our most important identity is not found in our career, our nation, or even our family. Rather, we belong to God who chose us, and in him we can have grace and peace in abundance. So you can go a little deeper with this. It says, "Do you realize that you are an exile? In what do you place your identity? How is exile a part of that?" And here's a prayer that you can pray along with me. It says, "Lord, as we study 1 and 2, 1st and 2nd Peter, help us to see the truths that you have for us. Thank you that though we are spiritual exiles on earth, our identity is in you and heaven is our eternal home."